Welcome back, and yes, there it is. Travis Engen at the top. That's the man driving it, but look who's driven it before. Sohei Arai,
one of my favorite.
Capello, Davis, Leto, they've all driven it. Nish and Capello.
Hey, that's all great and good.
Dindo.
But the most winning Audi driver is the
Travis
man there,
Engen,
Travis Engen, who we celebrated his birthday last night, had a little surprise birthday party. One of my favorite people in the paddock, and heard some pretty funny stories about him last night, too. In that Audi R8, the most winning Audi in Audi history. So how cool is that? And then we were talking yesterday, he's got over 60,000 race miles on that engine.
Wow. Well, Cal Denise joins us again to bring us home, effectively, our Sabeco expert. And he's got some news, first and foremost. Take us through it, because we've got the warm-up lap to get through it.
Yes, thanks for having me again. So inside our championship, we with our Sabecos, we had Dario and Goebel yesterday, had a little contact, turn one. So they're a little out of position today, so look for them to be coming through the field, lots of overtakes. Their teammate, Clay Keel, he's going to be hoping to take the fight to Stratus, who's running up front. They kind of swept the podium yesterday. And there was actually less than a half second between the last spots of the podium with Charlie Stryker and Ethan Barker. So expect another close finish there with those guys. Really, though, the one I'm watching is Harry Colson. He's been just nice and steady all season in that car, and he's eyeing that championship.
So he's in the MP01, right?
Correct, in the PS3 category.
Yeah, okay.
And he's got a good chance to actually take it home, because I believe Dario and Clay aren't going to make our last race at VIR. So he's just trying to get as many points out of it today as he can, and hope for a good showing at VIR as well.
And big money for the winner of the championship, right?
Yes. So we throw a little extra at it, in addition to Hankook, and really, really helpful to have Hankook on board with everything. In addition to that, though, man, those guys under the 9.4 tent, they worked real hard to get those cars back out there today. And they're all supporters of the Spotlight Initiative, which helps UCF, some students there get some paid internships, and their alumni there, and just try to give back to those. And really big shout out to the guys at Revolution as well. We wouldn't have a great series without the rest of them.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of work to do after the Enduro to get that car back together, and Donnie and his team did a great job getting it to the grid.
Well, they're bunching up, Jonathan. The lights are out. This is a pretty interesting field of cars. Watch for Nathan Thompson there in the back in that Lotus 23, but here they come to the green, Jonathan.
Yeah, and you can expect that storied R8 to drift off into the distance because of its power, because of its history.
I hope
because of the man who's driving it, Travis Engen. And then it'll be left to the Sabecos and the Revolutions et al. To fight it out. Away goes Engen. The 65 of Nathan Duckles tries to go with him. In second place, ducks into second, as everybody now gets into a line astern position to go up the hill. Up the hill for the first time.
Looking good. What a great looking group. There goes my friend Nathan Thompson, though, from Ergogo Racing in that Lotus 23 that, we've always kind of known Doc Bundy to be driving, but Nathan Thompson, very capable driver, especially here at Watkins Glen. So that Lotus 23 is going to move up through there. I think it's a 23C, if I'm not mistaken. So a much faster Lotus 23. But these Sabecos, man, they are just such cool looking prototypes, but they've got that little bit narrower bulb in the middle for that single center seat drive.
Yes. Center seat is slightly offset to the left, but it gives a great driver perspective. Good feel.
This is all relatively new, Cal, so we're still learning the way. A shortened season this year to kind of, read yourselves in, but looking to expand both as a series in terms of events and in numbers on cars.
Yes. And, we're hoping to do 6 races next year, expand from the 4 that we did this year, and, hopefully continue to get the increased car count. We've got 12 out there right now, and I think we'll be close to 10 at VIR for our last race.
As you can see, Travis Engen, well, he hasn't pulled away too far yet, but he's off and running. It takes time, we said this yesterday, for that Audi R8 to get his tyres up to temperature. It's not a lot of time in the pace lap, so he tends to go a little slow to start off with, and then when he's up to full...
It's just so weird because we've been watching production vintage cars for the last 2, you know, that have body roll and just don't rotate. These cars have no body roll and they just rotate. Like they don't look like they're hovering and not really on tires. So it's just a weird to see that. And you can see this line of Sebecos. Then you've got the Radicals here. Then you've got some Revolutions back there. All kinds of different ways to make this, and just unbelievable to watch them put down the laps.
And Cal, to the untrained eye, how do you see the difference between the Revolutions and the Sebecos?
Oh well, the Revolutions, obviously with that open cockpit right there, they look gorgeous, and you know, for them, they're running a little bit more power, so they walk us down the straights, but we do a good job keeping up with them through the turns. I noticed I didn't see that DP02 out there.
Yeah, the Elan. Yeah, I'm not sure where that Elan is. The of West Allen.
Yeah, but here it looks like Dario's coming up. He's making his way through. He's already picked off a few. So
what about horsepower? You say that the Radicals are more horsepower. What do the Sebecos get?
So
watch this though. Watch Nathan Thompson. Nathan, can't see you. Nathan Thompson is a very accomplished race car driver with Ragogo Racing. He is going to get around these cars if they can see him in that 23C.
Nathan Thompson started right at the back in that Lotus 23C.
Yeah, and those guys at Ragogo, they had a nice little fish fry on Friday.
You went as well. I was the only one not invited to this.
Well, you have to be Catholic to go to a fish fry.
Oh, all right. Well,
no, that's just a Southern rule. I think that is, because I'm not Catholic. But it's really cool that Paul Rigo and the whole Ragogo crew, they do that about 4 to 6 times a year at different vintage events. And it's just really cool. But look at this, Sebeco versus Radical. Who's got the advantage here, Cal?
Well, right there, that's Charlie Stryker. He's got a lot of laps. He runs that car in WRL, so you know, he's really pushing it to the max there. But through that section of the track, that's where he's going to be strong. It's once we get on the straights that Radical's got a little bit more legs on us. So if he's got a chance, it's going to be sort of in the boot area, possibly through the bus stop. That's where he's got the advantage.
Okay, good knowledge. That's what we want to hear from you. Thanks, Cal.
Another Radical McDonald's driver.
Mm-hmm. And those guys in the Radicals right there, I believe they are actually in the SVRA
so they're group
category.
11.
Yes,
okay.
Correct. But it's great to run side by side with them, and you know, even if it's not in class.
Now, why didn't they want to play with PSSA?
That's
I
a good
asked Phil
question.
Lewis the same thing. Philip Lewis, who we were talking about, came all the way from Copenhagen, and he said he's in Group 11 in a Radical. I said, why don't you join PSSA? And he said, well, what's PSSA?
Yeah.
And so I said, well, go talk to Rob, because that car would be eligible unless you've done something to your Radical. He said, no, it's straight up. So back again, Nathan Thompson just can't get around. Is that Dario in this Revolution?
No, that Revolution, man, they have a lot of power. In fact, I think they're somewhere around 170 coming up to the bus stop. So they just, ooh, there he goes. So it's hard to get around those Revolutions in that straight line. We'll see how Dario's coming up to him now. This is going to be Dario's best chance, possibly under braking.
Sorry, it's Dario. I called him Dario. Sorry about that.
I learned that one too recently. So.
And I call Mario Andretti, but it's actually Mario Andretti, because Adam Andretti will always correct me on that.
And usually Dario's got some good fans on watching the live stream, so hopefully they're tuning in and seeing him pick off these cars.
Now, I say Mario Andretti because of Charlie Daniels' band.
Right.
They say Mario Andretti and the Uneasy Rider.
Remember, he came on the border of Italy from a tiny village. So you think about it when they are saying, where is Mario? Where is Mario? Yeah? So that's why it's Mario.
And really the shock right now is, you know, Jason Alder in that PS3, which is about 40 horsepower less than the SPX in the PS2 category. He is right there running down Brandon Kidd, who's in the SPX. So really, really good job by Jason out there.
So quite an eclectic group. We've got Group 5A. We've got not too many from 5, but a couple. And they are going around. We've got 7, 11, and of course what we're talking about, the PSSAs, the more modern versions of these Sebeco SPXs, Sebeco MP01s, and the SR3 Radicals, and the Revolution A1 500 SC. Got the odd Chevron B out there as well. That's Group 7. And then you've also got the 2007 NU Art Can-Am out there. Mark Hannifin. I haven't seen that yet. There's the 50. That's
Mark
Matt Clark in the Swift. Yeah.
Mark Clark, yeah.
Sorry, in the Swift, yeah.
We used to have a Matt Clark that raced against Jason Alder in F4.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it's confusing.
He's now on the road to Indy.
Yeah. But it's cool to see Jason Alder back out here with us. He's such a nice, great driver.
Great kid, yeah.
So I'm glad to see he's still doing something in sports car racing.
Likewise, Dakota Dickerson, one of our former champions as well.
Yeah, they are really running those cars hard right now. Just seeing the lap times come across, Dakota's still running 53, and the track's real hot right now. We're up quite a bit. I think I had a track temp reading of about 117 before we went out for this session.
Wow. It's hot. With the ambient temperature outside, you wouldn't think it would be that hot.
Yeah, it's cooler than most of the country right now up here. But it soon got hot, didn't it?
And that was another good example that Revolution got around Dario again down the straight, but we'll see if he can get it around and make it stick. They just have a lot more horsepower in that PS1 category, and so it's good to see him battling, working hard for it.
Complete settling down. Most of the drivers setting their fastest lap on the 4th lap so far. So they've got themselves some clear space. They've got themselves dialed in. It's the 62.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's a nice car.
Mitchell Idle in I'm trying to draw a line, in that Chevron B31 from the year I was born, 1975.
Disco, just no wonder. Now that tells us a lot about you. You were born in the era of disco.
But I'll tell you a funny thing. My son just went to college and texted me last night that he's at a silent disco. And I said, that's great, because disco sounds best when it's silent.
Oh, ouch.
Not a disco fan.
That's all the thing. You'd be good at a silent disco.
That's my favorite. I'll put on a disco record and turn it down to 0 all the time. It's the best way to listen to it.
Oh, you're tough.
And there it is,
Disco's
that radical
king.
again.
Yeah.
They've got a little bit of that straight line advantage, but again, once you go through those turns, you see Gopal just pull away.
What's the weight difference between, let's say, the regular Radical and the Sabeco?
Our cars come in across the scale somewhere between 1,800 and 1,900 pounds, depending on the car. So they are a little bit heavier, from what I understand. And
how are they to maintain as an owner?
Oh, they're great. It's easy to pull the bodywork off, get to everything. That's the best part about. I feel like all these guys enjoy that part about sports racers and prototype cars. Is just it's an easy car to work on and maintain. We've got great intervals on all the parts on our cars, so engines last a couple seasons if you're doing sprint racing, and they're getting 150 hours or so to a motor before a rebuild. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Nathan Thompson up to 10th in that Lotus 23C, starting at the back in about 25th.
Yeah, he's made it through, hasn't
So
he?
yeah, he's doing good. And then there's Mark Clark, doing really well. We saw his son Gavin in Group 2, also doing very well. 31 years old, so we love seeing him here.
Yeah, more and more young folk are choosing the historic route because they can see it's a great way to learn in a friendly atmosphere, and also just a fun weekend without the pressure of a championship and without worrying too much about getting into fisticuffs and having big damage and all the rest of it. So more and more people cutting their teeth, like Jason Alder and Dakota Dickerson on the way up.
I can't read the rest, but I think I offended Boy from New York because I think he loves disco. He says disco was my best years. Is that what it's saying? I've got an emoji blocking me.
Yeah, of course it was. Of course he said
That's not a futuristic problem, having an emoji blocking.
He's quite right. His disco years were his best. My feet never stopped moving. Talking of not moving feet, look at this. Travis Engen is pedaling well. A long way ahead at the moment, as he was yesterday in the mighty Audi R8. Storied history buzzed across Europe and the USA. And over 60,000 race miles, we believe.
No, it is, because they know exactly how many race miles are on it.
He's got a 20-second lead now. He's flashing the lights. Well, he's not flashing
that's the bumps. Yeah, I think
just the bumps.
But happy birthday to Travis Engen.
Happy
it was
birthday,
actually in June, but this was the first time we could all celebrate it at the Monoposto party last night, and the crew GMT Nancy and Toe and Kathy, they really threw a great party. Had some great Mexican food, so that'll bring me in, Jonathan.
Oh,
and guacamole, so we really appreciate that. Also, it was just really cool to see Deneen and Bob Leitzinger here. Bob Leitzinger, absolute legend here at Watkins Glen. He was with us here in the paddock, so just kind of like a big family reunion. Like I said, Linda Williams was here, so just great to see all the old friends, I guess you could say.
Cal, any surprises for you in terms of what you're used to watching with these guys?
Again, Dario back there, I think he's just struggling to get around that revolution with the straight line speed, and it's holding him up. Otherwise, I think he'd be right there with Charlie.
Cangialosi, that's how you pronounce it. Cangialosi?
Cangelosi,
yeah, that makes sense.
So, I had to ask him before this, make sure I get it right.
Yeah.
I love that livery on that Radical, though.
It's neat, though, yeah.
I got to ask you, though. Jonathan was saying that he just got a call from Brian Redmond. When you see Brian Redmond calling you on your phone, how do you answer?
Uncle B.
Do you really?
Yeah, what's going on?
That's just so crazy.
My dad calls him Killer.
That's awesome.
What's up, Killer?
I've got a picture that's autographed by him, by Brian Redmond.
Perfect.
At home. So.
What's the car on the picture?
I believe it's a Chaparral.
Okay, that would make sense. He was a big Jim Hall man, a big Chevron man. And, of course, a 3-time Formula 5000 champion, multiple Le Mans participant, never won it. But, boy, had a storied history there. That was part of the filming of the Le Mans film, by the way, in one of the 917s.
Which ended up being pretty dangerous for the drivers.
It was. But he did tell me Steve McQueen, truly hand on heart, could have been a very good racing driver, just as Paul Newman was.
Second at Sebring, I believe, in 1960s, 70s, something. I'm sure somebody knows when he got second at Sebring. And I believe a Porsche 908. I'm sure somebody on our comment section knows exactly. And they're yelling at me right now. So yell at me in all caps in the comment section. Tell me the truth.
Yeah.
And that Audi is so fast. I know Harry, he's got some supporters out here, and he said, just go around the track. Give me a 10-second heads up. If that Audi's anywhere near me, let me know. He is so fast.
And any car enthusiast is like, I don't want to have anything to do with endangering that Audi.
Mm-hmm.
No, gosh no. That's the last thing you want. They should have parked that up and put it on a plinth years ago, but it's still racing, and we're happy for it.
Yeah, and still racing in very capable hands.
Yeah. I think actually that's a big part of the story. Were it not for Travis, I don't think it would have still be circulating as many weekends as it does.
Now, Boy from New York says 1970 with Steve McQueen, but then he adds the caveat of I think. That's the first time he's replied with an I think.
Yeah. I think, therefore, it is. That could be the way of looking at that.
And they haven't shown it, but I'm seeing on scoring, Jason Alder and Brandon Kidd, they are neck and neck, and they are in two different cars. But it is that SPX has a little bit more power, and I'm wondering if that's what's able to keep him in front of Jason.
These Revolutions they look like they're about 15, 20 years in the future.
Yeah.
And they have a new Evo Revolution that's coming out. We were hoping to see it here this weekend. Didn't make it, but hopefully we'll see it before the end of the season. And, from what I hear, it's even more power, more aero. I think that rear wing that you guys love is going to change a little bit on that new car, but I can't wait to see the new Evo from Revolution.
What's the word I used on that rear wing yesterday, Jonathan?
What did you call it?
Dihedral?
Reverse dihedral. It's an airplane term. Yeah, because I think the F4 Phantom was a reverse dihedral wing.
It's too early for me for that.
I do like my airplanes. Yes. And a lot of these cars are basically reverse airplanes.
Yep, that's pretty much what motor racing is.
Dario's still working on that Revolution there. He's trying to get that run.
Sorry, Nathan Thompson there in that 23C. Which car is Dario in?
He's in that white, all-white 9.4 car.
Okay. And then Jason Alder is in the number 60.
Yeah,
okay.
Correct.
So the number 60 and which car? The Brandon Kidd, the number 33. They're going at it right
They're
now.
going at it in 5th and 6th overall, yeah.
And
here comes Travis.
Yeah, the gap there has been real close, but man, that car looks so good. I remember seeing that car at Road Atlanta. It was just amazing.
Yeah, I'll bet that was scary coming out of the top of the bridge there, and down the hill for the last turn.
So there's Dakota Dickerson.
Yeah, you know Dakota pretty well. Came and started with single-seaters, won the F4 championship, then the FR championship in the early days, and then got picked up and raced for Honda for a bit, and now
I believe he won Petit Le Mans as well.
Yes,
Again,
yeah.
us being down at Road Atlanta, I see
he's
that.
done a lot of LMP3 stuff, and
Here's the battle.
yeah, this is that battle for 5th place we were discussing a moment ago. Brandon Kidd in the 33, and Jason Alder just behind him.
Our friend Jason Alder.
Yeah.
I love the white wheels there, that Brandon Kidd car.
Oh, yes. They look great. And he does have just a little bit more power. They're not in class, but...
yeah, but Alder's got some talent. We know Jason
does.
Alder, so this
Yeah,
could be still equally yoked.
And you'll see, again, we run the Hankook tires here in PSSA, and it's an older set of tires on that 33 today. So I know Jason's got a little tire advantage on him, but overall, these cars look like they're having a blast out there battling.
Notice he didn't touch the brake as they went through two there, Alder. So just getting as much drive as possible to suck in before the bus stop. Here they come. It's not going to be close enough this time, I don't think.
Yep. Similar to that Dario situation where he just can't get the power around the Revolution. But
yeah.
But he's still using what he has. All Jason Alder has really in his quiver is to annoy the driver, Brandon Kidd, enough ahead of him to make him look into his mirror and go deep into a braking zone or miss a mark, and then Jason Alder can pounce.
That's it. So just keep the pressure on, and I know that's what he's looking for. See, right there, he closes it up, and down that straightaway, especially through the uphill right-hander here at the toe, that's where I think Brandon's going to pull just a little bit from him and just try to break the draft just a little.
That's what happened, though. Look, Alder's caught right up.
Oh, here we go. Let's see if he can pull him. Yeah, there it is. Just a little extra power there.
Yeah, just yeah.
That's so frustrating.
Nudges away from him, doesn't he? And then under braking, look, Alder's right there. This is a good job of to and fro between these two. Time running out, so Alder, if he's going to get past, he's going to have to do it soon.
Ooh, there could be. Almost.
There's not much between them, is there?
No, this is a great battle here.
Well, the obvious place is to get the good drive out of here and then make a zip out. That's it. Tuck yourself in.
They look synchronized.
Yeah. Tuck himself in and then jink out past the line and then jink out about now if you want to make the pass here. Instead, he's going to sit behind him and wait till he gets drive up the hill after two through the S's.
Yeah.
But he won't have the power up the hill.
Good point.
I think he's just waiting for a mistake.
Yeah, he's trying to force a mistake then. That's if you
what
haven't
it
got the
looks
power,
like. Yep.
hassle.
Yep. So they're doing a great job out there. And,
When I'm racing like that, I like to throw the turtles at them. That's how I get by them. That's the racing I do. It's called Mario Kart. So when you can't get by them like that, you
start
just
pouring
throw
turtles out the back.
You just start throwing turtles at them.
Yeah, that's a,
Or the what's the squid that puts ink in their visors?
Oh, that's even worse.
I'll do that.
somebody needs a little star.
Yeah, exactly.
And the cars just ahead of them, they were some PS3 cars that were battling, and it looked like that was Harry Colson. I know he's just going through steady, looking at the championship picture.
Whoa, Nathan Thompson, look out.
Yeah, that was a bit of a moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, looks like the Revolution may have an issue there.
Yeah, it's slowing down.
That is the car they had apart earlier. And again, I know Donnie and his team, they were doing a great job putting it back together. So we'll see what may have happened.
Okay, Nathan Thompson looking at his mirrors. 23C there. That's the Lotus 23, Ragogo Racing, and that Ragogo Blue. Really accomplished driver. But look at this big group here. And here is that same battle. But Jason Alder coming into some lap traffic. What are they going to do here? Uh-oh. That's disrupting. That just messed it up for Alder, I think. That's just going to be too big of a gap.
Yeah, and there's Harry. It looks like Harry got back around Jerry. Harry and Jerry, they're having a battle of their own.
So when you say Harry and Jerry, what are we talking about?
Harry Colson.
That's right. Yeah.
And And then I believe on here.
I would watch the Harry and Jerry cartoon. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Harry Colson and Paul Reed.
Well, Jerry Spittler. It's Gerald Spittler on here, and he may be a lap down. Something may have happened to Jerry, but this is his first race with PSSA, and he's getting used to the car, still new to it, and really making progress. I believe he shaved about 20 seconds from his first session till now.
Wow, really?
That's
this weekend?
Yeah, just in one weekend. So that shows, the progression of
amazing.
the car for him and just getting used to it.
I mean, if you could shift a couple of seconds in a race car, in a session or so. Blue flags waving then for the leader coming through.
A little wiggle there under braking for Charlie.
Yeah. Lap and a half to go. Travis Engen on his way to yet another victory for this most winningest car, to use my best American.
I like that. So Jonathan
in Audi's history.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So Jonathan gets calls from Brian Redmond to congratulate him on a fantastic job. I got heckled and threatened today by Boris.
But you asked for it. You get asked for it. Actually, to
Boris
be fair,
Head's over there at Winter Circle like, hey, man, do this. Come on now.
To be fair, he did come in during the TA race and ask us to keep it down.
Yeah,
Not the TA, the one before the TA.
He's coming in here yelling at me. He's telling me, because he won Masters, he's like, I got to go to bingo. Let me get up here and just be done with it.
Yeah, he doesn't like all that pomp and ceremony. He's old school.
Yeah, and he's threatening me. He's pulling me off stage. But there's Travis Engen. So Travis Engen having another great weekend here. That beautiful Audi.
This is where he's got to be careful because they're just not expecting him. And he just zips by. Look at that. Look, it just turns on a sixpence, doesn't it? It just, as soon as he turns in, it just zips.
On a what?
On a sixpence. That's
ladies and gentlemen, in our comments, if you could tell us what in the world Jonathan's saying.
Oh, come on now.
Is that sixpence?
Sixpence, yes. That's the same as a dime.
Like the band, sixpence, none the richer.
Yeah. Well,
final lap. All right, we got it. I'm sorry, my meds are wearing out, people. I got to focus for one more lap, Benny.
One lap to go then. And Travis Engen on his way. Duckles Dickerson. It's a D to defeat at the moment for Duckles and Dickerson. But Dickerson will be on the podium again.
I like that alliteration, Jonathan.
Okay. And then waddling home in fourth is Mr. Waddle in the 29. That's Ben Waddle. Or Waddle, whichever you prefer. Brandon Kidd, and that battle between him and Jason Alder still going in fifth place. And behind them, Ethan Barker in seventh. Salvatore Tresanti in eighth position. Stryker in ninth. And Kangalosi just behind.
We'll see if they'll get one more lap for Brandon and Jason, or if they'll get past here. But,
good point, yeah.
It looks like Jason's closing the gap again. It's staying kind of steady, but Ben Waddell's had a bit of a lonely race there in second in PS2, but he's the son of Barry, so great lineage there, and excellent driver.
Yeah, boy from New York says you can razz Boris about what happened with the cops at Mossport. I'm not sure if Boris can go back to Mossport with us next week.
That might not be the case, yeah.
So here we go. Travis Engen going to finish out the weekend for us, Jonathan.
On his way to yet another victory, Travis Engen and this grey and red star of motor racing in North America. One of the most famous Audis out there. You see it at every historic race, and Travis usually at the wheel. And he does it again. Another flag-to-flag victory for Travis Engen in the Audi. A little bit unfair. He's got a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, but put him in one of these Radicals or Revolution, he'd have an advantage. Yeah, he's just a good driver. I wonder if he has just a closet of SVRA red hats at his house. Because he comes away a weekend with maybe 30 of them.
Yeah, must do. Well, coming to the end of this one, Travis Engen was sub 30 seconds ahead of everybody else, so we've got to wait for Nathan Duckles and Dakota Dickerson, who have got a decent gap as well, so there's not going to be any change there at the front.
It does look like Jason and Brandon were able to cross the line before Travis.
So they're going again. They're still out there.
No! Oh, dear.
That is the
84.
Oh, that is Clay Keel over there.
He's keeled over.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of a mess right there.
Well, this is the one that did the pirouette yesterday in the white S2000 that just went by.
Well, Knuckles is now going to finish his race. Duckles, I mean. And there is the checkered flag for him. But that was a nasty off and a nasty crash. Let's hope he's okay in the 84. So who is that?
That is Clay Keel, again with that Spotlight Initiative group.
Never want to see that.
No. Luckily, these cars are really safe. We've got built-in crash structures and everything, so we'll wait to hear anything. But
yeah. Well, thanks for coming up here, Cal. It's great to get your insight and learn a little bit more about these cars, and wish you well for the rest of the season, short as it is, and back next year to really make a splash, I hope.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Not at all. Good to see you. So well done to Travis Engen. No problems for him, but drama at the end, right at the very end there, just over the bridge, just as they were coming to the finish. So obviously they were fighting, and something went wrong, but not to worry. And in the end, Brandon Kidd did hold on to fifth ahead of Jason Alder in that little battle for fifth place. It was a good one. And that pretty much concludes our coverage of the Speed Tour for this weekend. It's been a long weekend, 3 days of racing, starting with the feature race of TA2 on Friday. Then we went to a full day of SVRA yesterday, and we got TA at lunchtime today, as well as the Collier Cup, and some really nice group SVRA races. Very competitive this weekend. Worthy of Watkins Glen, shall we say. And a look at the results then. Travis Engen in the Audi R8 LMP wins ahead of Nathan Duckles in second place in the Revolution. Then it's Dakota Dickerson in the Sabeco SPX ahead of Ben Waddle. Brandon Kidd in fifth, Jason Alder sixth, Ethan Barker seventh, Salvatore Crisanti in eighth position, Charles Stryker in ninth, and Dario Cangelosi rounding out the top 10 in his MP01. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it here at Watkins Glen as all part of the Speed Tour. Tony Perella and his team putting on a good show yet again here at one of the favourite tracks we visit. We've still got a track, we've still got a traverse to Canada next week, in fact. That should be fun. And then, of course, VIR and Coda to come. Congratulations once again. Good job done by Greenlight Television and all the organisers, and well done to the competitors. Been a great weekend of vintage racing to put in the history books. From me, Jonathan Green. Until next time, goodbye for now.
Taking on the challenge, moving ahead. It's about going further, faster. At Customers Bank, we know that great things happen when you combine the best of technology with a deeply human touch. So we offer a wide range of personal, small business, and commercial banking solutions with outstanding personal service, giving you the edge you need to take on tomorrow.
What it is, I totally feel like I'm a kid again when I get on my buzz bike.
Horsepower, baby. You know me, I like horsepower.
We no longer bring golf carts to the racetrack because we have buzz bikes.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means turning some rust
into rolling artwork. Built with Summit means you're making something that was already fast even faster. It means that your project will be on the road or track long after you've bolted it together. And Built with Summit means you're doing it with in-stock parts, fast shipping, expert advice, and the best prices. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.